Yakuza director thanks Xbox Game Pass for boosted success. I've said a lot. Game Pass is just changing how all of this works. It's really changed everything. Everything from game reviews to how publishers figure out like how to make a franchise successful. It's changing the whole thing. The whole demo, the whole landscape is just different now. Because even a game that like Yakuza is a really good example for American players. They look at the trailers, and let's be real, you look up a Yakuza trailer, it looks freaking weird. Nobody knows what that game is supposed to be, at least in the West. Nobody really knows. But like once they try it, people are like, oh, I get it. This is fun. This is pretty fun. This is interesting, you know? And so Game Pass enables players to try those games that they wouldn't try otherwise. It enables them to go and do something different and to give it a shot when they wouldn't normally give it a shot. And that's the great thing about it, especially for indie developers and AA developers and even AAA developers that don't have a huge stake in the US currently. It allows people to go and try games that they wouldn't have otherwise tried. Like for example, like Ni no Kuni 2. That's a game I've been interested in for a long time. But I'm stressed that I'm worried that I would spend like $60 to buy it and then just hate it after 20 minutes. A game like that on Game Pass is a dream come true because I can try it. Same with like Persona 5. People hear everybody praise Persona 5, but it's like, oh, but it's also really, really long and I don't want to pay like $60, $70 for a game and then not like it. So I don't know. Like it's not great. Plato Requiem is on Game Pass. Yep. Day one. Easy recommend. Devs make piss wages. Apparently it's it's tied up in hours played. I think they have multiple tiers of negotiations that you can do. So if your game is shorter, you can still generate some higher amounts of revenue. But my understanding is that most agreements on Game Pass are tied up in how many hours are played. Kind of like music streamed or like YouTube. For my ad rates, basically, they rate the value of your channel basically by how much time is spent watching that particular video or your channel in terms of hours. So being able to just go in here and they can be like, oh, Yakuza people are playing it for an average of 20 hours. Okay, yeah. And for that, you get paid per hour that the gamer plays it. And boom. And the other thing is, because that person would never have tried the game to begin with, it's digital content. You don't have an upfront cost. So you just are making money from people who wouldn't have played the game otherwise, which is great. And that's why it makes sense in the long term, because it introduces it to a new audience.